Alright, hello, hello. I'm back here. Back in the career game. Trying to remember what we did last time. It was July 14th, I believe. And now it's August 11th, so about 2 months. Like to do some more streams. We'll see. Let's see. Let's see what we can do. We are currently. Are we at the Coast Guard beginner base? We are. Okay, so I decided to do Coast Guard beginner. That's good. Gotta get used to controls again. Let's see. I'd like to get back to stormworks. Trying to be able to do it on the road while I'm at work, so that's good. Let's go ahead and go sleep in a bed. So one of the reasons I decided to do it this beginner base is that way new players can kind of watch the series and figure out what you're supposed to do in the beginning, how to get fuel and all that stuff. You know, I have my beginner tutorial videos as well, but this makes it easier as well. You can kind of just watch. Alright, black fishing boat, distress requires assistance. Let's make sure that no clip is off. The one issue is as the game gets more quote-unquote challenging, as you progress further, the missions get further away and people struggle because they think they're so far away. Like, this isn't all that far away. This one's close. Like, we can literally see this probably. So here's the hospital island, and then it's a boat. So black fishing boat is in distress requiring assistance. Search the area, locate the emergency. Vehicle has activated transponder, use transponder locator. We don't need that necessarily as we can just find it in this area using dead reckoning and then likely bring the people back. So let's first look out there. And let's see. So the hospital island's over here. Again, this is where like when people struggle to like literally the first missions are incredibly close to you. You should be able to see them pretty readily, so I'm struggling to get up over this rock here. Let's get up there. Come on. You can pretty well see these. Like, let's see if we can go up here and take a look. So you have this tower. It's a little bit foggy out there, but let's go up here and see what's up. So if we look over there with our binoculars, it's likely somewhere up against that coastline. So we can see the coastline from here. It is foggy, but we'll head out there. And then we'll head out. Again, one thing is, a lot of new players think you have to do all the missions. You don't. You don't have to do any of the missions. You don't like one? Sleep in a bed, skip it. It even says, there's a dialogue box that says that another rescue service has completed the rescue. So you don't have to do it if you don't want to. And I'd recommend you don't if the weather's too crazy. So like right now the wind's not that bad, so we're pretty good. So we'll just go do it. But you don't have to do any of the missions you don't want to do, so just don't do them. You know, so if the weather's too hard, like you see this, a lot of new players are like, my boat blew over, and this is the other thing is, before you start every mission, you should be saving. And that way you can go back and run it again. So especially if you're a new player, go back and run the mission again. Run the mission 5 times. If your boat doesn't have the capability to do it, you can go in your custom game, fix and upgrade your boat to be able to do it, and then go back and do it. You know, to always leave a save. We already had a save. That's likely it right there. How's it going, Daniel? Good to see you. Yep. Hopefully try to do some more of these. I finally got a flash drive for my laptop, so hopefully I can do some of the stuff on the road. See how streaming goes on the road. But so like let's look over here for a second, so where the search area is. So let's put a marker here and let's put that in. I'm trying to remember what we did last time. So we have a bearing of 207. Is that it right there? That's probably it. So right there, we've already found it. Like literally it took me 10 seconds to see it. They're really close when you first start out here. Weather's not too bad. This boat's not really all that huge, or it doesn't. Did I even put a stability system? I can't even remember if I have a stability system in there. You know, And we're doing fine on this little bit of waves here. It's not super duper windy. Like here, let's look real quick. Like the wind is at 34%, so it's not, you know, calm, but it's not terrible either. And again, you can always just not do a particular mission if you don't feel comfortable doing it, you know. You sleep in a bed, advanced time. Alright, so extinguish all the fires. Hopefully I have a fire extinguisher. I should. Yeah, I'm just trying to remember back to where I was before. There's a fire extinguisher right there. Okay. Alright, so there's $3 grand right there. And we got... Okay, they're incapacitated. I don't know if I put a defib on here. I'll do that. I did not add the ladder, which I had a to-do list, but you know it's been so long since I last played this career save that I'm not sure. First aid kit. I didn't put a defib on there, so I'm not gonna be able to even rescue these guys because I don't have a defib on there. That's fine. So let's do what I just said. Okay, so let's go ahead and we will. Where is it? 614. Yeah, that's it right there. So let's load it up. All right, so this is where like a lot of new players get frustrated. They go, "Oh my God, you know, my boat, I didn't have this, and I spent an hour going out." You didn't spend an hour. Like that was what, 10 minutes? But yeah, I spent all this time doing this. Save your game. You're still trying to learn the game. Save your game. Now look, fresh save. Now it's going to be a different mission, but we know what to put on our boat now because we just did a mission. All right, we know what the boat's lacking, so let's fix it. Alright, so we got a lot of, I don't need 2 torches, so let's go ahead and delete that. Let's grab a defib. Alright, so we've just learned what we need in our boat to be successful in our mission, so let's add it. Alright, so not a big deal here. Alright, good. So now we've just added something we needed, right? And then I remembered I wanted to add ladders. Alright, so let's add that, right? So it's like this, you do some iterative building here based on what you need, and you'd be amazed things work out, you know? So right there, let's save our new boat. What's, where was it? I think it's right here. CBS B1V 1.3, alright. CBS B1 version 1.3. Alright, good. So now, can I do a point? 1, 3. Let's do that. What did I have it as? Underscore, okay. Underscore 3. Alright, good. So now we've got that changed. So, like, if you save the game, you can go back and do it. Now we're going to get a different mission. So one thing you can do is you can save it right as the mission pops up and keep running that mission. So let's go ahead. That's saved. Alright, so now we need to go upstairs and sleep again. So, like, this is all you have to do. Like, you know, I see a lot of new players that are like, the game should save for you and all this. It's like, take some personal responsibility in gaming how you want to game, and, you know, make a save before every mission. And then you can go back and you can try it 10 times if you wanted. You can go back and rebuild your boat and then reload your save. Buoy requires servicing. Let's go ahead and take a look at this one. Alright, so this should be close. Conduct repairs on the buoy in the ocean. Alright, let's go do that one. Alright, so now let's follow what I just said to do. Let's save this. CBS 25, take 2, 614. Let's change this to 811. Alright, there we go. We now have a save. Alright, so the save is with that mission activated. So now, if I don't have the equipment on my boat to do this mission, I can reload my save and do it again. Right, so this is, that's a good way to do it, so keep your frustration to a minimum. Alright, good. So we've added a couple things to our boat. Another thing, too, is, like, you know, people who struggle to figure out what they want to do in game, one thing you can always do is come up with some objectives. So, like, one of my objectives is every time I spawn my vehicle, let's make it better. You know, it doesn't have to be every time, but let's make the vehicle better. So, like, we just added a ladder, we added a defib. As you find out what your vehicles need, start improving them. Alright, so let's go ahead and bearing 146 distance ETA. Now most of this is dead reckoning. I don't have a digital compass. I should add that on there. We'll put that on the to-do list, add a digital compass. I got a piece of paper here. Let's do that. So every time we spawn our boat, let's try to make it better. Alright. Dig compass. Okay, dig compass has been put on the list. Alright, so that it right there. That's probably it right there. So let's see, we'll check the ETA. Distance is decreasing. That's likely it. I can't see the compass. That's fine. Backlights is 4. So we're headed between east and south. A little bit more on the south side. That would be about a 139 right there. So, you know, there was a post on Reddit, somebody asking about how realistic is the navigation. Well, it depends what your definition of realistic is. You know, people used to navigate with compasses. They used to do celestial nav. Now, celestial nav, I don't know if that really works in game or not. I haven't tried it, but you know, you can definitely use a compass and get around, especially early game. And then I have I've done the tutorial on the bearing. You can do bearing, and you want to do GPS map, you can do all that as well. Yeah, as long as the autosave doesn't save over your personal saves, I'm not really opposed to an autosave. I'm not a huge fan of autosave, frankly. Save it when you want. Take some responsibility to do it. Like, I understand the convenience of it, but as long as you turn it off and it doesn't save over the files you don't want it to save over, that's fine. But it's like, you know, a bunch of people, like, if it doesn't have cloud saves and it doesn't do everything for you, they cry, and it's just like, I'm not saying that's what you're saying, but it's like, it's you know, there's something to be said for like doing things the way you want it, where you save it when it's a good time for you to save it, you know. Like, you know, if it's if it's saved, you know, your boat rolls over and it auto saves, and now you're stuck where you don't have it before it rolled over, you're in deep shit, you know, especially early game. Alright, so that's repaired. So that's a little bit of cash, money, dollar bills. Let's get out of here. Alright, so let's try to dead reckon back. Alright, so our heading was between east and south, right? So to head back, what do? We put between north and west, right? And we should be able to like look out and dead reckon off of our surroundings, right? Our base has a big light. So there is a light from the hospital island, and there's a light from our base. So these early missions, you really don't even need a, well, sometimes you don't need a compass. Like, it's a little bit foggy here. I would take a compass, but with a compass, we just went between east and south. Now we're going between north and west, which is the opposite direction, which is reciprocal. And we can see there's a light there. Look at our map, that's the light off this island. And we look to the right, there's a light there with a tall tower and a beacon. Right, that's our base. So right there, we can see our base from here. If we turn around and look, see the lights behind us? That's the boat. I'm trying to look. I think it's, I saw it earlier when I was coming this way. You could see Soaring North. So, like, you can even look over there and see it. And, you know. And again, if you're not comfortable with the conditions, just sleep in a bed and wait till the conditions are something you're comfortable with. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I haven't seen that one. But there's our base, right? We look at the shape of the island, the shape. Right, you do that with part of, you know, VFR flight nav is looking at the shape of lakes and islands, and you can do that. You can look at the shape of this one. It's an island, pretty square with a little island off it. This one has a jutting out section. Let's remove the waypoint. I can't, that's base. And you can see that's the jutting out section there. There's our base, right? So real simple, real easy to find the base. You know, I didn't even have to use the GPS. We had that blinking light on top. That makes it really easy to find even when it's foggy, you know? Alright, so we're going to try to improve our vehicle every time we bring it in or out. So let's do that. So what are these? These are RPS, I would say. Alright, so that's back in there. Let's go ahead and index these. So let's go 0 to 10. I don't know what I have them set at. It's been too long. 0 to 10. Let's see. Right RPS. Alright, left RPS. So that's a small improvement, but we've made an improvement. So let's go ahead and save this. I'll just save over that. Alright, good. So that's an improvement on our boat. Alright, and the mission is complete. So what we'll do is we'll go sleep, and then I'll save over that save I just made. You know, right before the next mission. So if we wanted to go do that buoy mission again, we have the save, we load it up, and we go do it again. Till we can actually accomplish it. Black and white fishing boat in distress request assistant without exact. So that's pretty much the one we just had before. Alright, so let's look at the map. Do we actually want to do it? Yep, it's over here now. Okay, so let's make a waypoint. Let's go ahead and save it. Save it over today's save. Alright, and there we go. So if we want to go do this again, let's go ahead and check our conditions. So we're at currently 28% wind, not bad. Alright, good. Grab our boat. So I don't think I put any sort of stability system in this. Yeah, so there's no stability system in this yet. You know, if you watch my boat stability tutorial series, talk about making the boat inherently stable. That should be your first thing to do with any of your vehicles, whether it be a plane, a boat, a car. It should always be stable by itself, and then you start adding things to make it better. You know, too many people trying to use things like gyros and everything to do magic and make their inherently unstable boat or craft stable. And if you start with it stable, like this boat is stable on its own, then the stability system that you put in is just going to make it better. It's not trying to, you know, perform miracles, and that's a problem. You know, you see that all the time. Like I had a friggin' argument on Reddit with some guy. He had a 4-day-old account. He was just being a troll, but you know, people acting as though the gyro is supposed to be this magic fix your craft, and they don't understand that when games do that, what's happening is it's cheating. It's making your center of gravity and your center of lift the same, and all the aircraft, or you know, in this case, fly the same because the game ignores where anything is. It's just making it work, and that's not how this game works. You have to make sure that things are balanced correctly. And the same thing with boats, you know. Like, I have no stability system in this boat yet, but it's stable because it followed, you know, the things I put in the tutorial. Alright, so let's look here. We've got, did I put that in? I think I did. So we got a 307. Alright, so that's 270. That's west. Right. 315 is probably about there. Alright, so we're just using a basic compass. We'll get more precise later. Alright, 0.28, we got a decreasing distance, so we know we're getting closer, and bingo, there it is. Look at that. Literally used a compass and a bearing to the marker, and that's it. You know, so if you want to add movie maps, of course you can do all that stuff as well, but it's best to learn how to navigate without that stuff, because if you can navigate with just a compass, you're gold. Everything else makes it easier, everything else makes it more cake. You know, so learn the basics first, and then you can make it more advanced to your heart's content. What's that? Must be thrust setting there. %, no stability like passive stability. So basically the stability on this boat is just as built correctly. The center of gravity is low. So because the center of gravity is low, the boat prefers to be upright. It's balanced forward and aft so that it doesn't want to pitch. The center of thrust is pretty close in line with the center of gravity, so the boat doesn't it doesn't pitch ridiculously, you know. So that's kind of the inherent stability. If you go watch that tutorial series, you'll see like how you can build the boat so that it wants to be upright, it wants to not pitch too much, it doesn't want to fly around. When you burn fuel, it doesn't change the inherent position of the boat, because you're essentially going straight up and down as you burn fuel, instead of like some people put their fuel tanks in the front. And then what happens as you burn fuel? The front becomes lighter, and then the front comes sticking up, you know, so stuff like that. Alright, so there we go. Let's look at the map. 3 casualties. We got one more somewhere. So it could be in the boat itself. Yep, there, right there. Alright, there we go. What's up, sucker? Alright, so there's our 3 people. So, just some improvements from today. That ladder is already helping us especially get people on and off. So if you didn't know, you need at least 2 ladder segments to be able to climb. Alright, let's grab first aid kits. And there we go. So let's double check the mission before we leave it. 3 casualties. Extinguish all fires, 3 casualties. Alright, so we're good to go. Alright, so we traveled pretty much between north and east, right? So let's spin that around, right? South and west. Put north and east to our back, south and west. Alright. And let's look at the map and see if that makes sense, right? So we came from here, and we went between north and east, right? If we head southwest, bingo, there's the island. So let's not even put in the GPS at all. Let's just start humming towards the between north and east. So put where we just were to our back, and start heading, you know, to the southwest here. And let's see if we see something that interests us, like, I don't know, a hospital island. You know, that is our island right there, I believe. No, is it? I can't tell. Let me look. No. So let's look at the shape of the island. Is there another island out here? Let's see. Where is that? Oh, maybe we went further than I thought we did. Where's the mission? Let's see. Where are we going here? Oh, we're going... You know what? We need to go southeast. That's why. We're going south. We're going too far southwest. We're headed this way. That's what it was. So, right there. Let's fix that. Let's head east, and we got east here. There we go. Yeah, just use the map. My boat had spun around while I was sitting there, so I just did a reciprocal instead of actually thinking about it. But there we go. We can see we've got... That's our island right there, because you can tell by the tall tower. And let's head back to the... so we're going about east, southeast. Let's go ahead and put on third person real quick, just so we can see... I need third-person vehicles. Let's do not that. There we go. So let's see how the boat is. Again, it has no stability system. See how it handles it without a stability system? And then when we put a stability system in, it's going to behave even better because the boat's inherently stable. Okay. Get rid of that third-person vehicle. Alright, so let's head a little bit more east. We started getting knocked to the south here. So there's a lighthouse, right? Lighthouse is one of the ways people used to navigate. So if we look, this is that lighthouse right there. Alright, because we started going the wrong direction. That's that lighthouse right there. If we look at the lighthouse and we look at it, right? I'm putting it directly off my right side, and I look at my heading, we're pretty much going east. So it's directly south of us. So if we go to the map, if that's directly south of us and we're heading east, right, we're somewhere here. Okay? So if we head a little bit more towards the south, between south and east. Now we're probably going to run into that island. So just some basic dead reckoning using the map. And then we'll look around, we'll see what we can see. But there's that lighthouse. Check our people, make sure nobody's about to croak. Nope. The fog is probably kicked up. Let's see what the fog's up to now. Yeah, fog's at 48%. That's why we kind of make it harder to see now. We used to be able to see the islands. Now it's harder. So the increase in the fog. The speedo on this, I do not. Did I put a linear speed? I did not. So that's something to add. Try to just add a little bit every time. Alright, so now the lighthouse is getting behind us, right? So if it was at 90 degrees to us, it means we were here. Alright. It's now getting behind us, so we're more towards the east of it. Got the refueling plane going over top of us. So this is the mainland, it looks like. So we were going probably a little bit too much south. Let's head east some more and see what we see. That's the mainland. Alright, we can even look at the contours of the mainland. What's that? That's another island there. Let's head up there. So that's probably the hospital island. Yep, that looks to be the hospital island. You know, people look at this and they imagine that this is a huge continent. It really isn't. This is like a small town's geographical distances. So you start thinking about like the distances are actually like, that's the size of a town. It starts seeming to be a little bit more reasonable the distances you have to travel. So let's do some more dead reckoning. So we have a little island here with a big island. Alright. Little island, big island. Alright, so that's... Look at the shape. Pretty square island with a little island there. Bingo, there's a hospital island. Pretty easy to find. So if you just get some of those basic things down, navigation-wise, you start to be able to really do well with navigating. Alright, we want to have some cleats at some point for tying off. That's on our to-do list. Gotta put that on there. Oh, fell with this dude here. Try not to get crushed. There we go. Alright. And we'll feed this guy some more first aid kits. Alright. I'll go slow, so hopefully these people don't fall off here. There, we already lost one. Thanks for being real helpful, lady. Trying to get her. She was just almost close enough to get her fall. She was swum a little bit closer to us, and then we could have just had her follow. Did the other one follow me despite me telling her to stop following? Where did she go? Where the hell did the other one go? God damn it. Yeah, she was still on follow for some reason. I don't know why. Alright, let's go. Come on, people. Make this take 100 years. What the fuck? Why are you guys not following today? Follow. Follow. It's probably me jumping. I'm jumping like a jackass. It's probably just me. getting out of their range, and then they stop, which is good because you don't want them like to track you for too long and then get lost. All right, come on. Two of you still falling? Okay, good. It's me jumping like a jackass. Bunny hopping wasn't really helpful. Okay, there we go. All right. Now, once you get out of range, you'll see he stops following. So that's what happened, essentially. All right, good. So what do we got for cash now? Let's see. 53,000. That's not bad. And our boat is out, so you know, so that's what we have on top of the cost of the boat. Back in the drink. Alright, let's head back to our island. What? I still have a person on me. Jesus Christ. Eventually I'll remember how to play this game. Still have, I thought I could have sworn I pressed to get rid of this person like multiple times. I thought I hit E a couple, I definitely hit E a couple times because they open and close doors. I try to just click it quickly to get them to get off of me. The AI doesn't like the sequential bunny hopping. Okay, you stay there, please. The one test I was gonna do, I started doing the test like last week or the week before, was there's a difficulty setting in the XML file for your save, and I'm curious if that's what relates to how far away the missions spawn and how quote-unquote difficult the missions are. And so one of the things I was trying to test is, can you go back in the XML and decrease difficulty to bring them closer again, so that if a new player still wants the missions to be really close, they can just go in there and edit their save file and keep that. You know, because it's a balancing act. Do you want a new variety of missions, or do you want stuff that's close to you? And so, like, some people are going to want to get further away missions and increase the difficulty pretty quickly, and other people are they're not, you know, so it's kind of personal preference thing. So it's really foggy now. Let's check where we're going. Let's go tip of the island, about north. So here's the tip of the island we just came off of, and we're headed direct north. See if we can't find our base without using anything else other than the compass. There it is. So, pretty basic navigation skills. Get you where you need to go. Alright, let's see where our fog's at. Fog is currently at 63%, so fog's really up pretty high. Still pretty able to navigate pretty well without any GPS. We have it here as a backup if we need it. Alright, so we want to add some rope anchors to this at the very least. As our, we'll try to just keep making improvements. So let's try to keep that improvement wave going. Alright, save that. Little things like that, just trying to improve your build every time is good. How's it going there, Amanda? Good to see you. Yeah, Amanda asked if I was going to stream this anytime soon, and then it made me want to play, so here we are. Alright, good. So we got some rope anchors on there. Let's add some rope. Should be plenty of rope for now. Good. Little improvements. Alright, good. Did I save that? Alright, what's the time? Is it 15? Yep, saved. Okay, good. Let's do this too while I'm at it. that digital compass. So let's see. If we look at this, we have the bearing 2. We have the distance and the time. Let's do a dial. Negative 120, 120, I think. Yep, I think that's what it is. Let's see. I gotta try to remember this myself here. That's the A10. Hello, Citrus. Good to see you. How are you? Save this real quick. That bearing 2. I thought I had. It's not on that one. Maybe it's in here. Digital compass right there. That's it right there. All right. Good to see everybody. Physics sensor. I'm trying to think. What's 9? 9 is. What's that? Comes off bearing. Does keypad AB. I don't remember off the top of my head. I gotta look. Used to remember all this stuff off the top of my head. Now I don't. Let's see. Compass heading 17. Okay, 17. Nope. I didn't save. Sucker. That sucks. I gotta go back. Alright, so it's going to take the compass value. It's negative x times 360 plus 360 modulo 360 there. Alright. And then let's check. I think it's 120, negative 120. Let's give it a look real quick. Alright, it's showing a compass heading of south. We're facing south. That should be, that's fine. Yep, that works. Okay. Save that real quick. So that'll show our current heading as well. Check some chat here. Get my AC going here as it's starting to get warm. freaking heat waves constantly. Alright, good. Let's check with the chat, see how everybody's doing. Good to see you, Citrus. Haven't seen you in a while. Oh, Amanda's working a passenger train. Very cool. Yeah, I'm home right now for a couple days. Go back in a couple days. Alright, good. Let's save that. So we got compass going for us. So we got a couple improvements. Go ahead and sleep ourselves a mission. Again, we're going to save our game every time before a mission. And again, put on my old man hat for 2 seconds. Seen a lot of complaints lately all over Reddit for all this. Is like, no autosave and like no cloud save. And it's like, yeah, back in my day, put on the old man hat. Yeah, you had to save yourself, and you had to do all this stuff, and you had to take the personal responsibility for this stuff yourself. You know, again, if you do it yourself, it's done right. Just do it yourself. You want to save before? Do it, man. It's like, then you have it done when you want it. It's like, just do some of this stuff yourself, man. Alright, Blue Recreational Boat, distress requesting assistance. So we're going to put a waypoint there. It's somewhere in this arc. Let's see. That's good. Let's go hit it. Excuse me. I'm walking here. Right. Let's check our fuel situation. Yeah, we still got plenty of fuel here. Alright, so our current heading's a 148. So, okay, so our bearing is 124. We're headed 152, right? So we want to head more to the east. And that's a 123. And we're going to keep turning left until that hits 123. Basic bearing work here. We're going to home to it. So 123. 123. We'll be there. It's 2.4 nautical miles. Be there in 2 minutes. Alright. This boat's not wildly fast. I think maybe it's like 30, 40 knots, something like that. Yep, so 122, 122. We're headed right towards it. 2 miles, 2 minutes. You know, if it's 2 miles and it's 2 minutes, about 60. So, real simple, heading to bearing, heading to bearing. That's going to get you there. I'll change distance, move it down here, but that's the simple way to do this stuff is I need to go 1, 2, 3. I'm currently going 1, 2. There's 1, 2, 3. Bingo, bingo. We're going to go right to it. So that's where my marker is in the center. That way, again, distances are super short. If we look left or right, we should be able to see it, hopefully. Alright, 1, 2, 3. We overcooked the turn a little bit, so right about there. We can also try some celestial nav. Got 2 stars there and then a group of 3 there. Let's aim at those stars, and that'll take us pretty close to where we need to go. Good aim a little bit left, see if that's a 1, 2, 3 there. 1, 2, 6, 1, 2, 1. So right about there. If we aim at this set of stars here, that should also take us to the where we're going. You can see there it is off the left now. That's where our marker is, and it's somewhere in here, so it's actually over here somewhere. It's a little bit to the left, but you can see we've already found it. So yeah, really pretty damn easy to navigate in the game. How's it going, Owl? Good to see you. Ah. Yeah, I'm probably not going to stream for too long. I streamed some Tarkov earlier. I've been playing some PvE. But, it's good to get back into it. I like the... If I can do some shorter streams, I can probably get some streaming in. I don't know how what good the internet is in the hotels for me to be streaming in the hotels. Alright, so there's our rescue. Should be there soon. Alright, here we go. There's 2 people. 3 people. Alright. Yeah. Hiya. There we go. Got one still on the boat. Alright, what's the total? 3, so the one on the boat's another one. They've been doing a good job with these updates. They've been adding a lot of stuff from the Q&As. I haven't been doing the update videos weekly, but the last thing they added was another thing people had wanted, and it was like, it was from the Q&A. The PTO thing was something I had suggested and others had suggested from the Q&A. Seems like they're really going through the Q&A and doing it, doing the things that people had asked for in the Q&As. So it'd be interesting to go back through the Q&As and see, and see what Deltar showed an interest in the Q&As, because that's likely what we'll continue to get in these some of these updates. All right, so 228, 298, 288, 288, 288. There we go. Bingo. We're on our way back. Yeah, I'm looking at Owl's comment about people saying the game's dead, they're not updating it years ago, and you keep getting these profits and they keep looking foolish. The problem is it's what they'll do is eventually they'll keep saying the game's gonna be dead, and then when it eventually does happen, because all things come to an end, they're like, "See, I was right," and it's like, "No, man, you said it 8 times." It's like those people that say the world's gonna end in 2000. And then 2008, and then 2012, and no, it was really 2020, and then no, it was like, it's like you start losing credibility pretty quick, and it's like, like literally somebody the other day said, now that they did modding, they're not going to do any more updates, and literally the next day they came out with an update, and I was like, you guys just like talking out of your ass professionally or what? It's like, just chill out, man. They haven't made any announcements. They're done. It's like, it's currently their only product right now. It's like they got to continue supporting it until they have another product. The business, after all, but people got some silly opinions. I'm telling you. All right, we got a mile. We got a minute. We must be doing like 60 knots. Again, like I was talking about, this boat has no active stability system. It's just stable. Like, followed, what I normally do from my video, my series there on boat stability. If you make the boat stable by itself, it makes it really, really easy to then make it more stable with a stability system. You can't take something that's incredibly unstable and have some sort of fancy system to try to fix it. It's doing too much work. And you see this a lot with like what people expect from the gyro and what people expect from some of the, like when they talk about, they say the stock gyro sucks. It doesn't. What sucks is the way you built your boat's not stable, or airplane or whatever, and then you expect the stock gyro to do all the fixing of your problems. And the reason why you can pull something off the workshop is because it's doing an absolute shitload of work to try to fix your problems, where it's better make something stable to start with, and then you need very little fixes to make it even better, you know. Because it's just like all the gyro is a PID, and the sensitivity sliders pretty much probably just move the p-value on it, and so it's real simple. And people are trying to treat it like it's this magic thing. It really isn't. It's just it's very simple. You know, it's a bunch of PIDs with sensitivity sliders to adjust the p-value. That's all the gyro is, you know, and you start to expect it to fix like all your mistakes, all your errors. It just can't do it because it doesn't know what you want to accomplish. It's not magic. You know, when there are games like that you know, that do that, what they're doing is they're essentially it's not doing what you want. It's just saying, I'm going to ignore everything that all the instabilities that person built into their craft, and I'm just going to make the craft work with magic the way it should work. And then people say, oh, I built it in this game and it works. It's like, yeah, because that game doesn't care about where you put your engine or where you put your weight or where your center of gravity is. This game does. So you gotta actually build it the way you need to. All right, good. Let's see. People stay there, please. Bye-byes. All right, good. Making good money. See where we're at now. 61. So making money fast here. Doing some pretty basic beginner missions. That's not the right one. We're two next to each other. Where were they? What the hell's... There are two docks right next to each other. I don't know how I missed it. Where the hell is it? Which side did we come in on? How's my boat? There were two docks and I picked one of the two. There it is. Yeah, there's one right on the other side of that peninsula. Just starting to lose my mind. Yeah, you know how people have shown like the videos of like, oh my god, you put a rope on your boat and it tips over? The rope? 2 ropes on this little boat and it didn't tip over. Try turning your physics up to high where it's supposed to be and things work. Alright, let's go head towards the north here, and we should be able to, again, don't need to do GPS to go 20 feet here. Let's just, you know, there's the island. Let's head north. There's the map. There's the island. Head north. We should be able to find it. Uh-oh, there it is. Right, even in the fog, you should be able to find it. You don't need GPS for everything. There was a time when you didn't always have a GPS in your pocket. Yeah, stock gyro is fine. All like I said, you know, if you understand what it is, it's just a bunch of PIDs. Here, I'm looking at Amanda's comment. Stock gyro is great with some tuning. Like, all it is a PID, and you use the sensitivity sliders, and you adjust the sensitivity of the p-value, the range of the p-value, and that's it. Yeah, it's not some magic thing. It's just pretty simple. All right, see what we want to improve. Yeah, I'm trying to get in the habit of improving something each time I bring this in. Let's go. Way I remember there's red, right, wrong. So the red on the right is wrong, so I put red on the left. All right, that's good. Let's go ahead and we want to do, I think it was 4. That's 4. Goes there. All right, that's good. Check up some chat here. All right, let's check up some of this chat. I'm reading Daniel's comment about the hopium for the PTO open up potential farming update. We'll have to see. I don't know about updates. We'll have to see what. Again, I would say the Alistair did the last Q&A. I didn't get a chance to do it. I was busy, so I didn't see what the latest Q&A was. But I'd be interested in some of that. Yeah, like when you're gonna do stuff like that, just like pumping diesel from like, 300 meters from A to B. Oh, I don't know why you don't just turn infinite money. I know people do it for the lols, but I don't know. I think it's pretty weak humor myself. Yeah, spotlight's something I could add on there. Sync button. Haha, yes. Oh yes, I forgot they even have the rotating lights. The one nice thing about not playing very much is you end up a lot of new stuff. All right, let's see, that's there. Okay, good. I need electricity for this stuff. All right, good, good, good. Let's do another treat for ourselves and we'll do some painting. Nice to be able to paint every once in a while. Yeah, I noticed, like, I was looking at Reddit earlier, and it's, like, another person who, like, goes right into, building a huge vessel as their first vehicle. It's like, you gotta start out small when you're just starting. Like, I just don't get it. It's like, You don't know anything about the game yet. You gotta go start out small. Start building something real small and simple. Get the simple stuff figured out, then start go complicating it, because they'll go and complicate it and it's like, dude, you gotta figure out the simple stuff first. You can't go right to crazy difficulty, you know? I just don't get it sometimes. It's like, I understand, like, they want to build the thing they've always wanted to build, but it's like, you gotta go, you gotta walk before you run, you know? Do that, and then once you figure it out, you can start to expand your skills. But they line themselves up for frustration, and then the first thing they're on is on Reddit, trying to figure out how to play the game. It's like, you got to start with that step. Go and learn how to play the game first, and then, you know, start building some really crazy shit. It's like, you know, absolutely 100%. All they're gonna do is just frustrate themselves, and it's like, you gotta start where you're not gonna be frustrated, or else you're just gonna have a miserable time. Make it simple. Like you see, like I played we got 7,000 hours in this game, and here I am making a pretty simple build, you know, to start with, because I don't have any cash. Keep it simple, iterative, work from there, and things will work out much better. You try to go overboard, you're just gonna cause yourself all sorts of problems, especially when you're first starting out and you don't know anything yet. I don't need these anymore. Those can go. Right, there we go. Nice little treat to paint it, make it look a little bit more done. Alright guys, I gotta actually wrap it up. I forgot about something, but thank you guys for watching. It was good to see everybody. Sorry guys, I gotta go. I just realized I gotta get moving. So thank you guys. I'll see you later.